Are you in trouble right now? If so, I have one Bible verse for you that's going to help you out. And that verse is John 16 verse 33. And this is what it says. Jesus speaking, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Firstly, we need to look at this verse in context. Since this is John chapter 16, we know that Jesus is speaking to his disciples before he endures his crucifixion. He's basically encouraging them not to lose heart and to focus on the words that he has told them during the Last Supper, so that when they endure the trials that come with him going to the cross, that they will not lose heart and that they would focus on what he has said. Essentially, he is preparing them for the tough time that is coming and giving them promises to hold on to. So Jesus explains to them, I have told you these things so that you may have peace. Now this is incredible because Jesus is essentially telling us that we should not be looking for peace from other people. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, that keeps our hearts and minds, can only be found in Jesus Christ alone. When we focus on Him, when we focus on His teachings and His word, it gives us a profound peace that is able to overcome whatever obstacle we may face. This peace is perfect for having a trouble-free life. And the reason for that is because this peace is connected to Him. This peace is not connected to anything in the world. It's a divine peace that is not tied to our circumstances. That is why we can be at peace when everything else seems to be falling apart. The next part of the verse, Jesus says, in this world you will have trouble. He doesn't say you might have trouble, or if you pray 100 times a day, you'll never have trouble. He says, in this world, you will have trouble. It's a guarantee from God Himself that we are going to be facing problems. This verse basically disproves a lot of people who think that because they are a Christian, that they will never have any problem or worries in their life. In fact, being a Christian means that you may face even more trouble because you are a light of the world. Just because we are Christian does not mean that we are exempt from trouble, but rather, whatever trouble we face, we do not face it alone, because Jesus is with us every step of the way. So whatever problem you're faced with today, whether it's stress, heartbreak, problems at work, or issues within the family, take heart and know that God is with you. Jesus is holding your hand and walking alongside you, helping you to overcome the problem that you are facing right now. Jesus abruptly tells us that we are going to be facing problems, but He is not going to be the one to leave us in the lurch, but rather in the next part of the verse He says, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. This part of the verse is talking about the victory that Jesus is going to win for us through His death, burial, and resurrection. Jesus is essentially telling us that He is going to conquer the world. He's going to conquer sin, He's going to conquer death, He's going to conquer all the problems that we face in this world as a result of sin. And through His resurrection, we will be able to access that power that is contained within Him. That means that we are able to walk freely and boldly because He has purchased righteousness for us. Through His own body and His own blood, we have healing, we have restoration, we have righteousness and right standing with God. In other words, Jesus is telling us that once He is done with the crucifixion and resurrection, there is nothing that will ever stand us between us and God, and we ultimately will have the power to overcome whatever problem we will face in our life. Now let me show you something that's quite deep. The word for trouble in Greek is thlipsis. And this ultimately means pressure or affliction. So in this world, we may have pressure and affliction. This doesn't necessarily only mean the outward stuff that happens, but rather Jesus also includes the inward stuff, the inward pressure that we will have within us. This talks about anxiety, talks about fear, talks about being scared, talks about how internally we can be our own enemy. Jesus Himself also includes those troubles that come internally within us. And Jesus again says, take heart because He has overcome the world. And He has said all these things so that we can have peace. Here's another one for you. When Jesus says, I have overcome the world, the word world in the original Greek is the word cosmos. This talks about the entire system, the entire universe. Everything that has been designed against God, thanks to sin and death and Satan doing whatever he wants on the earth, every fallen thing Jesus has overcome on our behalf. And this same power that raised him from the dead rests in us today. So whenever you're faced with a trouble, whenever you're faced with a problem, hold on to John 16 verse 33. It's a direct promise from Jesus, reminding us that he has said things to us in his word that we need to cling on so that we can have peace, as we are reminded of his goodness and faithfulness. And we are also reminded that we need to take heart because he has overcome the world. Whatever problem, whatever circumstance you might be afflicted with, Jesus is right there helping us to overcome every problem and circumstance in our lives. Imagine the incredible testimony that we will have as Christians when we are faced with problems. Every problem is an opportunity for God to show up strong in our lives. So whenever you are faced with a problem, don't be scared, don't be tempted to run away, but rather take heart and remember the God that you serve, that he is always with you, ready to fight every battle with you. Is this your favorite verse? Or do you have an incredible testimony related to this verse? I would love to hear it. Leave a comment below. I read all the comments and I appreciate you taking the time to do so. And if you haven't done so as yet, please like the video, hit that subscribe button and share it with whoever needs to hear it. Until the next one, take care and God bless.